What's going on, guys? My name is Wade with TechDaily. So when it comes to monitors, nowadays there are a ton of great choices out there. Samsung, LG, Dell, BenQ, even Apple has their Studio Display and Pro Display XDR, which are great if you have many thousands of dollars to spend. But what if I told you that Apple's own Thunderbolt display from 2011 was still a viable option for your desk setup? You'd probably think it was a joke, but I'm dead serious. This display, which is now more than 10 years old and sells for just a couple of $100, if that, is a great option if you're looking for an affordable yet well-designed and pretty good-looking monitor, though obviously mine has seen some better days. So let me just get some stuff out of the way right off the bat. Apple launched this Thunderbolt display in the summer of 2011 for a price tag of $999, which at that time was very, very expensive. It's a 27-inch monitor, so it's plenty big, and they continued to sell this thing well into 2016. So I guess it's not that old, but it was finally replaced by the LG Ultrafine, which was an okay option, but I don't think it was a true replacement. Like the name suggests, the Thunderbolt display was a Thunderbolt display. That was the connection type. Along with the power plug, this display had a 2-in-1 built-in cable that plugged into the back, and that had both the old-style MacBook MagSafe charger and a Thunderbolt connector, which you plugged directly into your MacBook. That worked great for the older MacBooks. It was a plug-and-play single-port setup, but obviously times have changed, and you might have noticed that this Thunderbolt end isn't the Thunderbolt we use today. This is Thunderbolt 2, and technically the standard now is Thunderbolt 3 or USB-C. Fortunately, Apple sells this nifty little Thunderbolt 2 to Thunderbolt 3 adapter for $49, which, yes, I know is very expensive for a dumb little dongle, but it's the only thing you need in order to get this old Thunderbolt display to play nicely with almost all modern MacBooks with their USB-C ports. And let's be honest, for call it $300 for the monitor and $50 for the adapter, this is still a pretty nice setup by today's standards. By the way, if you're curious about the standing desk that's holding everything up, it's from FlexiSpot. This is a fully motorized sit-stand desk, and FlexiSpot sells a couple different ones in various sizes. They're E5 and E7. This is the E7, the larger of the two. It's 48 by 24 inches, and these desks are measurably better than the competition. Got a sturdy base at the bottom with two long full metal legs that move up and down. For the desk surface, I obviously went all white, but FlexiSpot offers a number of finishes to choose from, and most importantly, this desk can hold up to 355 pounds, perfectly capable of handling the monitor and my laptop and anything else I toss on there, but you could put a heck of a lot more stuff on if you wanted. Of course, the main point of this desk is the adjustable height feature. It can raise up to as high as about 48.5 inches and lower back down to about 23 inches. I'm like 6'3"-ish, and even for me, there's a range of heights that I feel comfortable at. It's all controlled using this little touch panel. You've got simple up and down arrows where you'll see the exact height measurements, and you can also set some custom preset ones for easy one-touch adjusting. The motor is very quiet, and it's hidden up under the desk inside this cable channel that keeps everything tidy. And all in all, I think FlexiSpot just makes a great sit-stand desk. I'm super happy with everything it does. And FlexiSpot actually is running a big New Year's promotion right now where you can get up to $550 off site-wide. And for this particular E7 standing desk, through January 10th, you can choose 2 free accessories with your purchase. I'll leave links to those special deals down below in the video description, and thanks so much to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. So if I've maybe already convinced you that buying an older Thunderbolt display is the move, let me dive a little deeper now into the specs and compatibility caveats so you know everything that's going on here. Like I mentioned, the Thunderbolt display is a big 27-inch monitor, and resolution-wise, it actually comes in at a pretty respectable 2560 by 1440, which at this size really isn't too bad. Yeah, you can certainly see every pixel on the screen, but from a normal viewing distance, it's perfectly fine. Now, I'm sure you could tell that this is an IPS LCD display, and certainly not a very bright one, at least not compared to today's displays. It seems to max out at somewhere between 350 and 400 nits. By comparison, most current displays come in at least 600 or 700 nits, but still, for what it is, obnoxious glare aside, I think if you set this up in the right room, it's not really going to be an issue. The glossy glass screen actually is one of the reasons why I still like this monitor so much. The whole design of the monitor itself still looks really good. It's an Apple product after all, so the base and stand are aluminum, the rear housing is aluminum as well, and even those big black borders around the display aren't too terrible when you consider the entire form factor of the whole thing. It's a good looking display, and it actually doesn't even look that different compared to the current $1,500 Studio display. You can definitely see the similar design language. In getting an older product like this, one that's certainly been used, you're probably going to see those love marks. The aluminum base tends to get discolored, the back panel has plenty of marks and scratches, but I don't really mind all that. The important stuff, the glass and the display, are all totally fine. And functionally, surprisingly, everything works, even with a relatively modern Mac. Now, your experience may differ slightly here, but let me just explain the buts and the ifs, and hopefully you can decide if this monitor will work for you. Now, in general, if you have an Intel-based MacBook with USB-C, the adapter alone will make this monitor work, and you'll have full control over the brightness, the sound. There's basically no compatibility issues whatsoever. Anything pre-Apple Silicon, like the Retina MacBook Pros or the Touch Bar MacBook Pros like I have here, are perfectly fine. If you have an M1 MacBook Pro or newer, something with Apple's processor, then the Thunderbolt display will likely still work, but you'll probably lose brightness and sound controls for the monitor itself. Fortunately, there's an easy fix. Downloading a tool like Monitor Control, which is free from the App Store, should fix that and allow you to have full brightness and volume adjustments again. Generally speaking, most modern MacBooks are going to play friendly with this old display, either just with the dongle itself or with the dongle plus a brightness control app. And in my time using this monitor, I haven't come across any other issues. The monitor has a built-in webcam, of course, which is not that great, but it works fine if you need it. There's speakers across the whole bottom of the display as well, and these are great. In fact, I don't think they're any worse than what's on the current Studio display. The out loud listening experience here is really solid. The ports around back on this monitor, I'll be honest, are pretty dated. There's no USB-C, for example, but I suppose you could add some sort of USB hub instead and be fine there too. To me, Apple's Thunderbolt display is still a surprisingly good and very realistic option if you're looking for a big, premium, high-end monitor and don't care so much about things like OLED or a high refresh rate. To some people nowadays, those things are a deal breaker. I get it. But for other folks who just want a nice looking monitor, hop on eBay or Facebook Marketplace and grab one of these. For a couple of $100, they're not really a bad deal. I know there are plenty of great modern displays out there for a similar price, but come on, they don't look nearly as nice as this one, and it's kind of fun to use this thing. I think it's a great option. But what do you guys think? Would you use an Apple Thunderbolt display today, or should I ditch this and get a monitor that's actually new and modern? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, of course. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video though. Be sure to follow TechDaily on Twitter and subscribe to the TechDaily YouTube channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys later.